Killer Instinct was Europe's answer to Mortal Kombat, and it kicked ass. Developed by Rare, it was released as an arcade game in autumn 1994. Killer Instinct features several gameplay elements unique to fighting games of the time, such as each player having 2 life bars that deplete one after the other, rather than the standard round 1 then round 2 affair. The game also introduced auto doubles, a feature which allows players to press a certain sequence of buttons to make characters automatically perform combos on opponents. Also featured in the game are the combo breakers, special defensive moves that can interrupt combos. Finishing moves are also part of Killer Instinct's gameplay, although Mortal Kombat did do these first. Each character has at least 2 moves known as No Mercy, Danger Move in later revisions, to finish off the opponent. One of these No Mercy moves can be executed at the end of a combo, which is labelled as an ultimate combo. Another finisher is the Humiliation, that forces the opponent to dance. The dance style depends on the character, but this can only be used if the player has his or her first life bar. Killer Instinct's finishing moves, while occasionally brutal, do not feature the level of violence typical of Mortal Kombat's fatalities. The Ultra Combo is what Killer Instinct is probably most famous for. It operates as an Ultra Combo, although this one allows the character to deliver a long string of hits that can sometimes reach upwards of 80 hits.
Delicious. Fight on. Ready. Triple combo.
In this SNES port, many of the features found in the arcade version have been altered, downgraded, or outright removed. As you can see and would expect, the graphic detail is vastly reduced and the character sprites are smaller. The stages with a 3D panning camera have been simplified into a 2D panning view, using parallax scrolling for the background and mode 7 for the ground or arena. Voice samples and sound effects have also been severely limited, whether shortened or missing altogether, and the music's quality is noticeably lower. But even with all of these negative points, Killer Instinct on the SNES is a fantastic game. Most of the characters preserve their special moves and danger moves. There are also other modes of play added, such as a training mode and a tournament mode. One of the most remembered points of the SNES release is the Killer Cut CD, an arranged soundtrack featuring original music from Killer Instinct.
Ready.
Killer Instinct also made its way to the Game Boy. I'm playing this via the Super Game Boy for some added colour. Again, just like the SNES, many cuts were necessary when porting this game to the Game Boy due to the system's limitations. As a result, neither Cinder or Riptor are featured, and the moves were severely altered due to the more limited controls. Still, despite this, Killer Instinct on the Game Boy is very enjoyable.
Killer Instinct. Killer.
Apparently this Xbox One version, known as Killer Instinct Classic, is not emulated, but is in fact an actual port, according to all the articles I've read. Available as part of the Season 1 Ultra Edition of Killer Instinct for the Xbox One. This port includes a number of additional features, such as a new training mode, unlockable character sprite galleries, and cutscenes, several visual filters, and the ability to play the game in both its original 1.4 revision and its later 1.5D revision. There's even online multiplayer functionality as well.
Ready. Brutal combo. Ready. Ready. Hyper combo. Ultra combo. Game over.
And let's take a look at all those versions of Killer Instinct running side by side.